This fucking cat, I thought he died last night because you
What?
know how he opens the back door?
Yeah.
So whenever I go outside with Willow or whatever, I can't lock the door so he can open it. And so I was outside with Willow seeing if it was too hot to take her to the park. And he opens the back door and comes strutting outside, and it was like 6:30 at night. I don't let them go outside when it's dark out because that's when the predators come around. So anyways, he went out.
Predators.
And I decided to take Willow to the park. I forgot the cats were outside. I get home from the park. I eat my dinner, watch a TV show, and then as I'm going to let Willow out to go potty, Ted's laying in the yard. And I was like, oh shit.
Stop.
The cats are still outside. And so I was like, Ted, what the heck? And I was like, Lexi, is Charlie outside? Did Charlie ever come in? He never came in. So the whole time I was calling him, I was shaking his food outside, and I was like, fuck, he never stays outside for this long. Like, he got eaten by a hawk or an owl or something.
Oh my God.
Thought he was dead.
Terrifying.
So I just had to keep doing stuff. I took a shower. I turned the Furbo camera to my back door so that I could keep checking if he came back. And finally, before I went to bed, he came back. And I was like, you little fucking bitch. I was so mad.
Oh my God.
He was just on an adventure.
Yeah.
I wonder what he was out doing.
I know.
He was
I
probably
literally
out
thought
killing
he was
mice
gone.
and stuff.
Probably. And eating
Getting
them.
a girl
Having
pregnant.
the best life.
Oh, so annoying.
Do cats get like neutered and spayed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Do they have thigh collars or something like that?
No. They don't have any collars on.
You should do that.
Collars can be dangerous for them because cats literally hang themselves like on trees
I
and
was
stuff.
thinking
Makes
about that.
sense.
Are they microchipped?
I think so.
Do
'cause they're
cats
both
get
from the
microchipped?
I
If
wish
they do,
microchips,
then-
I wish we had access to that.
I know,
like
that'd be
a live
cool.
tracker on my phone or
I
something.
know.
Like,
Yeah.
it sucks.
They
that
should
it's
have some
just
GPS stuff.
scanning it at the vet. Like, it doesn't actually track them. It just lets them know that you're the
no.
owner.
Even with GPS, like, doesn't that stuff need to be charged? Because, like, the thigh collars need to be charged and stuff. So
Yeah.
It just
the
reminds
microchip
me,
just gives you a
in-
phone number.
You know, like in Spy Kids, where it was like in their tooth, and then they had to pull out their
Oh,
teeth
yeah.
because they were being tracked.
Yeah.
I forgot about Spy Kids. That was like
love
the
Spy
ultimate,
Kids.
like, oh my God, I wish I could do that.
The
That was such a good
microwave where
movie.
you just put it in and then it makes like a full burger or something when you just put in like a little bag of popcorn. That's so crazy. I was like, this is gonna be invented in my lifetime.
I'm sure it
We've
will
had
be.
no advancements in
I
food
hope
stuff.
so.
Actually, they're growing meat in a lab or something. So I guess that's
Yeah, that's true.
interesting.
Did you garden this weekend, Britt?
We did a little bit, yeah.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, we like rinsed off the patio.
Like power washed it. I love power
We
washing.
don't
things.
have a power washer, but
Oh,
our hose
you
is pretty
don't.
powerful. So we got to like watch. We kind of like we decided we're like probably not really gonna use the basement like area as much as like the upstairs. So we kind of just like washed all of the cushions and stuff, and then did some weeding, and then planted. You know, like the arrow garden. I like shared it a bunch of times. Like you put like pods in, and then it like basically speeds up the whole growing process
I didn't
because
know
it
it
has
was
like
pods.
yeah, they're like little seed pods, and then you put them in, and then it like has a whole like regulation of like light amount of light it gets. So like the light is on all night so they can grow like crazy. And then there's like
Oh.
specific plant food that you give them. But then you can like take them out and like theoretically plant them into the soil. But like it's been so cold that we haven't done that yet before. So this is our first time doing it. So I'm really hoping that
that's
we
so
get
cool.
tons of tomatoes. I mean, the roots and like the actual like stems are like thick. So I think they'll like
Wow.
survive pretty well, like the tomatoes and the jalapenos.
I did not know that
Oh,
you take
yum.
like that you move them. I thought it stays in that thing the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can keep it in there, but
But it just wouldn't get
we
as
want to
big,
like
too.
we want to get lots of them. So I think we have 6 pods in our little arrow garden, and so we want to like get more tomatoes and stuff like that.
That's so cool. I'm so excited to garden.
I
Except somebody
know.
just told me that our backyard's too shady. And I'm like,
It
well, I
is
need a garden.
really I know. It is really frustrating that like there's certain things that need like specific amounts of light, and all these different
Yeah,
things.
because
But
you
like,
want them all next to each other too. So it's like complicated to pick different species of plants or vegetables or fruit when like if you have one
yeah.
garden area, but they need like all different things.
But what we were thinking of, because we think our side of our yard is probably like the best spot for like most plants, but we don't know exactly if we want to do that or not. So we're gonna start out with like potters, like just like those plastic pots. So even if you like
That's a
have
good
like
idea.
the side of your house or the front of your house has more sun, you can always do like I think tomatoes are like one of those things that love sun.
I
So you can
hate
always do
tomatoes.
like, oh yeah.
Well,
you
I like
would.
pasta sauce. I could make pasta sauce with them.
I
You
should
don't
have
like
known
any
that.
kind of tomato?
Not like raw.
What is it about tomatoes that you don't like?
The
I've always been
texture,
so
the
curious.
like the
Oh,
juiciness. Like
yeah.
if a cold tomato, like on a sandwich, when you take it off, like how it leaves slime and
Oh, I
seeds.
love biting into like a nice
Like I
juicy
could get
tomato in a
nauseous.
sandwich.
My grandpa used to grow tomatoes in his backyard, and my mom and me and my sister lived there for a little bit, and I would just like take the little cherry tomatoes and eat them. But I don't remember like liking them, so I don't know why I did that. Because I
Wait,
don't
what?
even
Just
love
ate
them now.
anyways?
But it was just like, oh, this is cool. I can eat this right off the vine.
That is cool.
That is cool. It is.
I
So
literally
funny.
have like cherry tomatoes every day.
But they are a weird, because they like pop in your mouth, and then they're not like grapes where they're like sour and sweet. They're like, I don't
Ew.
know. It's a weird texture for sure.
It's like
That's so
onions though.
funny.
Like I don't like uncooked onions either, but like
Oh,
I
I
like grilled onion.
I had an onion phase this year. And now
Really?
I
Of like
love
raw
onions.
onions?
Yeah, like I craved them so much that when I was cutting them for meals and stuff, I would eat them.
What? What
And
type
then-
of onion? Like a red onion or like a
So I usually do the like sweet yellow onion, but like also I got addicted to red onion, but I used to hate red onion, but now I'll put them in every single salad. I put them on pizza, and like, yeah, I love, like, they taste so bitter and
How
weird, but like
interesting.
I just all of a sudden my
This
taste
is-
buds changed or something, and I was just
Do you
obsessed
like
with
carne
onion.
asada with like onion and cilantro?
I don't think I've ever tried that, but like I used to hate
really?
Chipotle's guac because there was red onion in it, and the red onion just like took over the whole flavor. And
Yeah.
now like I'm obsessed. Like I love it. I love the taste
Joe's
of it.
like really sensitive to like raw red onion, and it has to
Yeah,
have like
they're
a good
very
balance.
strong.
Yeah. And if there's like too much in like a salad or something, he like picks them out. But
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
so funny that you eat
interesting.
them raw.
Mhm. Like when I'm making my salad and stuff, I'm just like, oh, I just need to take a taste of this. It's so good.
I'm like
I was
so
gonna say like I wonder
surprised.
if that's like a phase of your cycle or something, but maybe that's just all the time.
Well, like my whole life, my dad hated onions, and so he always like had my nanny, his mom, cook us our portions of things without onions in it, and so I never
that's funny.
had onions until like recently. And my dad
Maggie,
still
did you
hates
like
onions.
not have to eat like any other foods? Like if you
Well-
didn't like it, like did your parents like not make you eat it?
So my dad's in town right now,
Mhm.
and Cameron is very much learning why I am the way that I am. Like
Oh.
we like me compared to my dad, I'm like way out there. Like I try way more than him. I eat way more than him. He like these past how many days has it been now? Like going on 16 days or some shit. And we've only eaten out. Like literally I've not been able to cook one meal because he's just like not okay with it. Like I offered multiple types of things that I can cook. Like he'll only basically eat pasta if I cook it. But he was like, well, I also eat like chicken or steak, but you guys don't have a grill. And I'm like, we still make chicken
Yeah,
and
you
steak.
can.
And he's
such
like,
a like
I don't
dad
know
thing.
about that.
funny.
Like, so he just won't eat anything. Like, he only eats club sandwiches and burgers. So, like, literally, we've been living off fast food, and that's all. Because that was my
Ugh.
whole childhood.
That is really
No.
funny.
My
It makes
dad
a lot
has
of
always
sense.
cooked interesting things, and my nanny was always a really good cook.
Oh, you
And-
had a nanny? That's
no,
so
my
cool.
dad's mom. I call her nanny.
Oh,
because
I was like,
she's English.
I was like, wow, your nanny cooks
I
for you
know,
all
it's
the
so
time.
weird whenever I like say my nanny. I want to like, I have to have a disclaimer. My dad's mom, but like she used to make Indian food, so like I grew up eating Indian food, but my dad just didn't like onions. So like whenever she would make her gravy for like Sunday roast, she would have to make a separate gravy without onions. You know,
Without
like all
onions.
those
Oh,
things.
that's so funny.
she would have to be like, this is the one without onions. Or like even my uncle makes salsa and he'll have to make a salsa without onions for my dad. I know. I think it's ridiculous.
He's never gotten like a taste for it.
I guess not.
That's hilarious. There's like very few foods that I like will not eat. But I was like, my parents made me eat like everything under the sun.
Was it like finish your plate or like you can't get up type of thing?
Yeah, it was like, and because most of the time it was like if we didn't finish our plate, it wasn't because we were full. It's because we didn't like the food.
Gotcha.
Or like, you know, we just didn't have like a taste for the food. So it was never like force feeding us. It was just like
I don't
eat everything. Yeah, exactly. So what I did was like when I was younger, I would eat like all the foods that I didn't really like first, and then I would leave what I wanted to eat like last.
So you could be like, I'm full, or
no. So I would just like get it over with because I knew they were gonna make me eat it anyways. So
yeah, that's smart.
I just
you were the same way, just even as a child. You just got your priorities in check.
Yeah, my other sister though would like take a mouthful and like go to the bathroom, or like one of my other sisters would like put it underneath the chair cushion, and my mom would like come later and see it. And it's like so gross.
It's so funny as a kid when you think like you're being so smart, like, oh, they'll never find this under the chair cushion.
Yeah. Oh my god, I know.
Disgusting, especially because like cloth chair cushions, like ew. Just like throw the whole thing away.
Ew, that's so gross. What else is new with you guys? We haven't talked in so long.
I know. How is your finger?
Oh yeah.
For anybody who has not seen it on your stories and stuff,
yeah,
share
check
like
out my videos.
Share like a brief story.
I was sledgehammering a sink, and literally right before I started, like all my parents were there. My stepdad, my mom, my dad, Cameron was there, everybody. And I was like, guys, I can do it. Like I was already sledgehammering things before and taking things down. And I was like, I totally got this. And my dad was like, why don't you have Dave do that? And like you do your closet, because like other things needed to be done. But I was like, no, I'm trying to do the hard labor. Like I want to hit this sink out. And just immediately, it immediately slashed my finger. And it was the very first day. Like my mom just got there. We were like, okay, let's start now. And just immediately. But it was like weird because in the moment, like I really just thought I like hit it weird or like slammed it. Like it didn't feel the pain of being cut that badly until after. And then
once you see it, then it's like, it hurts.
Yeah, but then my parents were freaking out, so I felt like I was like more calm because they were freaking out. So
you don't want them to freak out. Like I'm fine.
Yeah, I was like,
I'm not really fine, but like I have to tell you I'm fine so you don't freak out.
And then I had like 3 towels wrapped around it, and it was like bleeding through all the towels by the time we got to the urgent care. And the lady at urgent care, like the desk lady, she's like, okay, you need to sign your name. And I'm like, I can't sign anything right now. And she's like, you have to. And she was like, is that your husband? And I was like, no, we're engaged. And she was like, doesn't count. And I was like, I can't physically sign this right now. I don't understand. And then I was like, can my mom is here. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And then she let my mom do it. But literally we had to wait like 3 hours. And then I finally got them in.
That is crazy.
Oh my God, I would have been panicked. I would have passed out probably. I've never had anything like, I know recently you said you've never had stitches.
Yeah, I've never. Well, I did when I was a baby because I had like multiple surgeries when I was a baby, but I don't remember any of that. Yeah, so it, like was new. I was more scared to get them out. Honestly, yesterday I was like terrified to get them out, and I thought that it would be like healed. It's not healed.
Ugh, so it's so insane.
But hopefully in like 5 days. But other than that, things have been popping off. I feel like I'm getting more views. I'm getting the highest engagement of my stories ever, and it's great.
Except I love the recaps. I've been living for them.
I can't believe how much you're like, I thought you were going to move into the house as it was. And then like how Britt is like slowly going to start renovating, but you're like ripping down walls. You're like literally renovating.
Yeah, no, it's like pretty crazy. I mean, we'll still have to like redo every room basically, but the bathroom and the kitchen is like what will mostly be done. It's just that my dad had to take down all the walls and everything to do the electrical and then like re-drywalling every wall.
Yeah.
But that's basically all that's happening.
The other nice thing though is like for your office and everything, like the popcorn ceilings are out and you like
Yeah.
have all new lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
So even though you're still gonna like have to redo it, like the base is done,
Yeah.
which is really freaking nice.
It'll be so cool.
And you could just
I'm
like
so
change out
excited.
hardware on doors and it would make it feel like a new house, you know?
Oh
Like,
yeah, we're gonna paint the
mean-
doors, and like you can even do like DIY things where you add like wood to it and it makes it look more modern. I don't know. But I was
I've
gonna
yet
tell
to
you
do
guys,
that.
like, Devin, I feel like you would hate posting home renovation content because there's so many opinions. Like, I love that people are DMing
Oh.
me, but every fucking thing, like, somebody gives their opinion on
But
every
that's why
single
you're
thing.
getting high engagement because people
Is that
know.
like is it like everyone's giving their opinion like, oh, you should do this type of can light or
Yeah,
this
or like I did this and I did this,
Yeah.
or you should do that, which is like actually a lot of it is helpful. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
be like negative about it because obviously like I am enjoying people DMing me. But like yesterday when I posted the IKEA kitchen or something that we bought it, somebody's like, "Oh, you should shop around more. Like I got this for cheaper." And I'm like,
that
"Okay,
is
like I did
annoying.
shop around and I already bought it, so it's too
Yeah.
late."
Yeah.
I did want to comment and be like, are you gonna do uppers on one of the walls? But I was like, she's probably getting so many messages. I'll ask her later.
Yeah,
Leave a direct line.
We're doing open shelves on the side with the window, like above, and then there's uppers around the fridge, and then to
Yeah.
the left-hand side, we're gonna open the wall up and do that like coffee bar with an arch thing. But
Oh, yeah.
we just had to close it first because my dad he didn't really know like how to do the arch, and it would have taken longer. So we were like, okay, just close it, and then we can do that ourselves at a later time.
Well, that'll be so cool.
Yeah,
I'm impressed you're gonna do open cabinets. I do not think I could keep that.
Oh,
Nice.
I keep saying no, I can't. Like that's what I was saying this whole time. Is like it's like open shelves are for decorations. Like I
it's
can't
not
do that.
practical.
No, it's
everything
not at all.
I buy now, furniture wise, I want it to have some sort of closed storage.
Yes,
so that I can hide a
same.
bunch of shit in there.
Yeah, that's like. But when I was looking for bookshelves, there were so many that were like beautiful and they were like completely open. But I was like, I know that I'm gonna hate this. Like, I need something that has at least half of it closed, and then the other part I can have like open. But I can't have the whole thing be like an open shelving thing because it's just stupid. Like, it's just gonna be a bunch of like knickknacks, and I'm like, I don't need
just decoration.
to buy more things to decorate.
Yeah, to like, and then all my stuff still has like nowhere to go.
Yeah, Cameron's mom sent us like a bathroom vanity because we're looking for one, and it like was fully open on the bottom, and I was like, unfortunately, that will not work because I like to throw all of my shit below the sink.
Like, even if you do want to have it organized, it's still like, no,
a bunch of stuff.
Need to like have a bunch of that stuff open.
Yeah, and we'll also have a pantry eventually. My dad's not doing that this trip. He thinks that he'll leave like a week from now ish. So
yeah,
that won't be done, but once we have that pantry, then like that will also be extra room. And IKEA was just so cool of like you can fully customize everything how you want it. Every drawer, there's like places for a cutting board, there's places for silverware, and like the girl had us like stand in our kitchen and like pretend that we're cooking and pretend like, oh, where would we reach for the silverware, where would we want the trash, or like
that's
all
really
of those
cool.
things. It was so cool.
I love that.
And I used to think of IKEA kitchens like as the way that we got it, which is like the cheapest possible way that you can do it, the cheapest countertops and the cheapest cabinets. But they do have like pretty fancy quartz. They have very fancy like cabinets where you could really make like a expensive kitchen look good.
Yeah,
I think IKEA is awesome. I don't know why some people have such like, oh, that's from IKEA, but like they make some really sturdy products if you put it together correctly.
Honestly, my
and,
IKEA furniture holds up better than my Wayfair furniture.
Yeah,
and I love
definitely.
Wayfair, but Wayfair it like does not last.
Yeah. No. This bed I have back here is the coolest fucking thing. Like I could not find something like this anywhere. Yeah, it's so nice.
I really like the like customization, the tools that they have, like IKEA has online, like that design thing. Like you guys did that online, right? For your kitchen, because they have the same thing for your closet. So like you can do the exact same version for, I think it's like the I forgot the PAX closet system. So like you could just like put your measurements in and then see like which types of things you want. Like where do you want hangers? Where do you want drawers? What type of like?
Wait, did you do that?
I like messed around with it to like design it.
That's so cool.
But I
Do you
haven't
guys
bought
have
it
a
yet.
big closet? What is your closet size? I feel like I haven't seen your closet.
Mine is weird. Like our master is like very strange because it's like 2 like glass doors and then there's like an upper closet with like a blind that literally pulls down. It's bizarre. But what we're going to do is we're going to enclose the whole thing and make it like a floor to ceiling closet. And like they're like whatever the open ceilings are. So it's like
visualize
really massive.
what you're talking about.
I know.
like,
it's really hard.
to imagine.
I'll show you guys a picture, but it's basically like a regular closet with just like an open space above it. Like a massive open space above it.
That's interesting. Yeah, our closet is going to be very small. Like I genuinely don't know how we will fit all of our things. So that'll be fun.
I almost want to like take some of our closet and like add more bathroom space to it.
We thought about doing that.
But it's a lot.
I don't know.
I'm just like very impressed. I'm like, damn, I really want to get going on my renovations, but that's also a lot of money. So TBD.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm like so thankful for my dad, even though it's like he's here a long time. It's like he's literally saving us like $50,000 probably, which is so crazy.
Yeah, but like even the materials and stuff that you guys are buying, like all the things that you're doing, is like probably adding up quite a bit.
Yeah, well, he bought all the like lights. So that was a lot, I'm sure.
And you get to save money on like the boring stuff and spend money on like the fun stuff that you are
you don't have to spend money on lights.
And like lights. Walls and electrical. Like I would hate spending $50,000 on that.
Yeah, and then Cameron's parents are coming in like 3 weeks from now, and they think that they'll put together the IKEA cabinets and probably the kitchen floor tile. So that was going to be like $5,000. Every quote we got for the kitchen floor was like $4,000, $5,000. So that will help a ton.
You're going to tile the whole kitchen?
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it'll look so good. I'm so excited. Like literally by July when we move in, the kitchen, bathroom will be done. So it'll just be like just the bedrooms and the living room basically. Like decorating. And that's the fun part. That's the part I love is like decorating and furniture and everything.
Yeah, that'll be so good.
Yeah.
Deb, so we went to the tennis courts yesterday. We played our first like round of tennis, just me and Joe. But the pickleball courts were popping off. Like they had so many people at them, and there was like a lot of young people too.
Yeah,
fastest growing sport.
I know. So we were like, but at the same time, like I'm kind of excited to learn tennis.
Tennis is cool. It's like, but like pickleball is easier.
Yeah,
if you want to learn something.
And like anybody could go play with you, which is kind of cool. We like if people are in town or something, you can just go play pickleball.
Yeah, we've already committed to tennis. We have like the rackets, we got the shoes, we got the
you got shoes and everything.
Hell yeah! And we like are gonna join a like tennis club.
It's so elitist of you.
To do like, well, it's really just like to get lessons and stuff, like and do drills and things like that. But
what a cute way to make friends though.
I want to hobby.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. But that's what I was like thinking. I was like, damn it, like all the people are so young in pickleball. Like maybe
it's in your tennis league. It's gonna be like 7-year-olds.
I know. But there was like the nicest man. Like he was like somebody's hitting partner, I think, like in the court next to us. And when we were like walking out, he was like, "Good job, guys! Like keep up the good work. Like it only gets better." And it was like, oh, thanks. Like, I hope I see you again. Like,
oh, that's so nice. I love when people are nice like that.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm taking a beginner pottery class. I think next Friday.
That'll be really fun. Yeah. I've seen some like incredible
that's
things.
So exciting.
That's like hard.
With your sister or by yourself?
With my friend Ashlyn and her sister.
Cute.
Yeah. I've wanted to try it for so long. I did it in like 8th grade, I think, and it was so fun just like making the bowl or whatever I made.
Yeah. I've wanted to do it for so long too. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, there's this place that's like pottery and coffee and they do classes. So we're doing really like a beginner's pottery wheel class. I think it's like 3 hours long though.
That is quite a while. Do you like actually burn it? And what is it called? The kiln?
Oh, the kiln.
Kiln.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm sure you like. I think you have to burn it. like in order to like keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know if
sometimes
do
you, like,
it
leave it
that
with them or
day. Like, I'm
something.
sure it takes a long time to like
Yeah,
whatever
maybe, like,
it's called in a
overnight or
kiln.
something.
So we probably have to go pick them up later or something. I don't know.
Do you know what you're gonna make?
No idea. They probably
Do you get
have,
to choose, or is it
wonder?
like a set thing? Like,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question.
probably like a bowl.
Yeah.
You could do like a vase or something.
Mm-hmm.
That'd
Put
be
on your
so cool.
TV stand or
A vase sounds a little more advanced.
well,
I
like
have
you
so
know,
many
like one of
vases
those
at this
like
point.
vase bowl things. That's like not
Yeah.
very like it would be like for like a large flower arrangement or something.
That'd be
Mhm.
really cute.
I've seen a lot of those lately, all over like the home decor TikTok of like those. What are they called? Like the do you know what the texturized like
Where
ceramic
people do it themselves.
pots? I don't even know, but like they're all people who have like bought them, but
Mm.
Oh,
the
okay.
style is just like a texturized like ceramic vase,
Yeah.
and it looks kind of like older,
Yeah,
kind
that's
of. You know
really
what I'm
cute.
talking about?
We
I just
bought
really
them
like
before.
that.
You
Yeah.
can buy like glass ones at the thrift store or something, and then like you just get plaster and do it
Oh my God,
yourself, and
yeah.
then paint it, and it looks so good. They're the same.
I should test that out because I really like the style of it, but I'm sure
Me
if
too.
it's like the expensive ones, they're like real expensive.
Ugh,
Yeah,
vases
vases
are
are, like,
really
weirdly
I
expensive.
know.
It's so stupid.
Like pillows, like why are
Oh
pillows so
my
expensive?
God,
That's
I
the thing I
know.
hate. That's
And
so
nice
expensive.
rugs.
Rugs.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what's annoying is trash cans are fucking
Yes!
Oh my God, the
expensive.
big ones. Yeah.
Why? It's
I
like
know.
so unnecessary to spend like $200 on a freaking trash can.
I know. I've been wanting to get
Yeah.
a new one for so long, and I just don't want to spend the money. Because, like, if I get a new one, it needs to be a nice one, but I don't want to spend
Yeah.
$200 on a
We got a
fucking
pull-out
can.
trash for our IKEA kitchen. I'm
Yes,
very
that's gonna
excited.
be so clutch. We luckily like had one in our kitchen because we were like thinking we were gonna have to
Is
like buy
Rosie
2 trash
barking?
cans.
Who's barking?
Yeah, can you hear her? Sorry.
No, you're good. I just didn't know if it was like a neighbor dog or one of your dogs. Sorry, you were like in the middle of your sentence, though. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted.
She's going to
No.
forget.
Gosh dang
Yeah.
it!
I know. Yeah, I don't really know where I was going.
No.
What was I just saying?
Something about a trash can.
Trash can. I said. The
Oh, when
insert
we
trash
moved
can.
in, they like had a trash can that was like sliding underneath the sink. It's like very annoying. Like it doesn't work that well, but
Oh.
it's like the perfect size. So I don't know if like how we're gonna find another one like the
to
exact
fit in
same
there.
size. Yeah,
Oh, that's annoying.
yeah, because it's
Mm.
very weird dimensions. Like I don't know. I guess maybe just get some like WD-40 or something to like make it slide.
Yeah. My mom has one of those, and it's annoying. It always gets stuck, and like the trash can falls
Yeah.
out.
Exactly. We're like,
Like-
I guess if it's not like completely broken, we won't fix it yet. But
Yeah.
more to come on that.
Dang. Okay, should we start?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of So Glad We're Friends. I'm Maggie.
I'm Devin.
I'm Brittany.
Today, we are going to be talking all about coincidences and random things that we've manifested or have occurred in our life that like make you feel like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. I found this quote. It's by Mega Mather. I don't know if it's supposed to say Megan or if her name's Mega. But
Marshall Mathers.
no.
Eminem.
Oh, I was like, who's that? But it says, what are coincidences? In my opinion, they are messages from the universe steering you in a particular direction towards a particular outcome. Everything that is happening in the series of coincidences is pulling you where you are meant to be. I really like that.
I'm so excited for this episode.
Me too.
Me
I
too.
love coincidences. They're like so fun.
Should we start
I-
with our own or other people's?
Maybe our own.
Okay.
I wish that I would have like because I've been journaling more now, I like can see more of these things happen, but I wish I would have like journaled more. To,
I was
like,
thinking the
kind of
same
see the
thing.
patterns happen more frequently.
Yeah, like I was thinking, like I wonder which ones I don't even know happen,
Yeah.
but like that were still so big.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
if this episode will trigger more for me because I can only think of like the big ones in my
Yeah.
life. Where's my notes?
What are some big ones?
Okay, I have some like really weird little ones based on like my favorite obsessions and stuff.
Okay.
So, like, okay, this first one is crazy. So, well, I don't know if you guys know, but I used to be really obsessed with Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
But I started watching it late in life. Like, I started watching it because it was being revived by Netflix or whatever. The revival was coming.
Oh, that's when you started?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's when I got obsessed with it. So anyways, I was just watching it in order. I hadn't seen it before, whatever. Just, I don't know. I started it. And then, so on the night of the presidential election, I was out in the living room watching Hillary Clinton lose. And I like had to turn off the TV. I was so frustrated because Trump was winning. And I just went to bed. And I turned on Gilmore Girls, just started watching my next episode that was up in the rotation of episodes. And in the episode, Lorelai was talking to Luke, and she goes, well, she hadn't seen Luke in a long time. So she goes, okay, see you when Hillary's president, in the episode. And I was like,
Whoa.
Hillary's never going to be president.
I just spit out my eyes.
I was like, that is so freaking weird that I watched that one episode where she said, see you when Hillary's president.
That's so weird.
When Hillary literally was losing the presidency.
That's also like all the
20 years
Simpsons
later.
episodes. Like, why are?
Do they like predict things?
Yeah,
have,
like
weird
that genuinely
predictions?
makes no sense to me. How many things?
The Simpsons
that
writer,
have happened
maybe
in
it's
The
from the
Simpsons.
future or something.
Yeah,
is really bizarre.
that's really weird to me.
Also, Alexis Bledel, who plays Rory, has the same birthday as me,
Oh,
Oh.
cute. That's fun info.
which is weird.
Is she older than you?
Yeah. She's like 8 years older than me or something. Also, Lady Gaga's one of her backup dancers danced at the studio that I danced at. And this was during my Lady Gaga obsession.
Oh,
I
well,
thought that
that's
was
crazy.
crazy.
I feel like you're
Yeah.
going to trigger more in me, more coincidences than I'm
And
thinking.
sometimes she would come into the studio and I would just be the only person that was like, oh my God, she's Lady Gaga's backup dancer. Like,
Did you like talk to her about it?
No.
You're like,
Why?
I need to talk to you.
Because I'm scared. I'm shy. I don't know. She was older than me and cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if she felt that she was like really cool, or she's just like, oh,
Probably
I'm just
not.
like Lady Gaga's backup dancer.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't think I'm cool, but some people might think I'm cool.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
think you're
like
cool.
everyone.
See?
I think being a backup dancer is so cool.
Yeah, it made me want to be a backup dancer, but then I realized that I don't actually have the personality for that. So
Do they get paid well?
probably not. I mean, she was on Lady Gaga's Monster Ball tour, which was like a huge world tour, and they toured for like 5 years or something. So she probably got
to
paid well.
tour is so
Crazy.
much energy and like
I
you're
know.
sacrificing a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's like the goal of any professional dancer, I think. At
Is
least
to
it would
be
be
a
my
tour
goal.
backup dancer. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Because it's like a consistent job that you can count on.
Yeah.
And I was not down for an inconsistent life like that.
Yeah.
Auditioning and rejection and
just
And now you have an
just
inconsistent life
inconsistent
of applying
brand
for brand
deals.
deals and getting rejected and getting them.
but you make more money on this in this area.
Yeah.
And you can like decide more about your life instead of just being subject
Yeah.
to like their schedule.
Because that's like
Yeah.
even a tour, it still ends. Like that's still not a forever committed job. It's still like, okay, when this is up, I'm gonna have to find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the same with
Scary.
actors.
Wow.
Same
Yeah.
life of actors.
So one of mine was when I was like doing my job interviews out of school. There was a career fair and I was like so nervous for some reason. I think it's because like I had pivoted like, okay, I was going to be a doctor my whole life. And then I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that. And I had no idea like what the hell else I was going to do. So I like went into this career fair and was just like walking around. And then the last booth, I like decided, okay, like I had pinpointed like, okay, I'm going to go to these like 5 booths and like introduce myself to the people. And then it was like about to close. And then there was like one more booth and I was like kind of 50-50 on if I was going to like go to the booth or not. And so I ended up going to the booth and had a really good conversation with the people there and ended up getting an interview with them. And like I just like connected with all the people there. I don't know exactly like what it was. Like we just kind of like vibed and had a good conversation, good chemistry and everything. And then I did like an interview, but they were like wanting people to like commit to working for them, I think like in May or June. And I still like had to do one more summer semester. So like I couldn't commit to that. So I was like, okay, like I really want to do this. Like, are you able to like hold a position for me? And they like couldn't at the time. But I like kept in contact with them. I kept like following up with them. I ended up taking another job in Chicago. And like the second I like took that job and like committed to them and like made like living arrangements, I like followed up with the other company that was also in Chicago, and like they brought me in for another interview. And then I ended up getting that job. And like thank God I did, because it was like $30,000 more than the other job, and I would have been struggling to like keep afloat if I had been in the other job.
That is crazy.
Well, that's really crazy. So you just told the job that you got hired at, like, JK.
Yeah. I was like, bye.
Wow, how cool. You were a following up queen. I can't believe so many like patterns in you have been since you were a child. Like, it's not like you had a realization one day where you're like, I need to be better at this and I need to do this. Like, straight out of college, you're like, I need to follow up 6 times.
I was consistent.
All about
I like really wanted that. But yeah, I think that was like one of the craziest things, because I was like so set on moving to Chicago, so set on like, you know, being in the city with some of my friends. And then the second I like made it happen, the other job like opened up. And then I was there for 6 years.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like all of mine are about boys.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, should we structure this as like coincidences, random coincidences with friends and relationships, coincidences with work and jobs, or like,
I don't know.
Should we just keep rambling them off?
We can just ramble them off, I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
What's your craziest one, Maggie?
Oh, craziest one?
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's 2 boy ones first, I guess. One that's like small. My first boyfriend that I had in high school, Dakota, when we were like just talking or we first started dating, he was like, he texted me one day and he's like, why are you friends with my aunt on Facebook? And I was like, what? And it turns out that his aunt has been my hairdresser my entire life. Like, she gave me my second haircut ever and was like good friends with my mom.
That's really funny.
It was so weird. And then like a month later, we found out that my aunt was his 3rd grade teacher.
That's
like,
so
what?
weird.
Like, how weird. And then when I started dating Cameron, his mom posted a picture of me and Cam, and Dakota's grandma commented on it and was like, I know Maggie. And it turns out that his grandma is like good friends with Cameron's parents.
That is so funny.
That's pretty weird.
The Tucson
did that grandma like
connection?
you?
Yeah. Yeah. So just
Hopefully.
I guess it's Tucson's a small world. But yeah, so then the next boy that I didn't date, this was the only boy that I went on that one date with. That was like before we were friends. This is the one time. But you remember Alex from Target? That whole like meme when people posted a picture of this boy working at Target and it was like Alex from Target because he was like a cute boy, and then everybody started like taking pictures of other people. It was like 2015 maybe.
I don't really remember.
It was a big thing at the time. But so then I went to Starbucks with one of my friends, Victoria, and our other friend Steven, and we saw this boy and he was so cute. And I was like, I took a picture of him and put it on Twitter and said Grant from Starbucks, like Alex from Target. Like, I was making a joke at that. And then like it started going viral within Tucson, and was like everybody was retweeting it and talking about it. And then like people that knew him tagged him in it. And then eventually like he messaged me and was like, hi, I saw your post that you posted about me or whatever. And then we went on a date.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
It was so weird. But then in 2017, I went over to Cameron's house when he wasn't there. He was like out of town and I was just hanging out with Aaron. And I went over there and I walk in and Grant is in their living room. And I was like, hi. Like, what the hell? Why is this random boy that I went on a date with 3 years ago in the living room? And it turns out that he's like great family friends with Cameron. Like, Cameron is he's brothers with the boy that we just went to the wedding with this last, like, a few months ago.
Oh my God.
That is hilarious.
That is so weird.
So it's like all my other
Small
boy
world.
connections led me to Cameron.
Aww.
That is really cute.
That's cute. That just reminded me, one time I was in Santa Monica with my friends and sister, and we were doing this like joke that Jenna Marbles was doing on her channel or something. Like I was laying on flat surfaces and like doing a shark fin.
Oh, yeah,
I don't
yeah, yeah.
even
I
I don't
Like
remember
planking.
What was it called? She would always say something when she did it.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but
That
it was a
such
Jenna
thing.
Marbles thing. Anyways, then we were walking around the like shopping promenade or whatever, and we ran into Jenna Marbles there.
Shut up.
Yeah, and took a picture with her.
You have a picture with Jenna Marbles?
Uh-huh. Isn't that crazy that like we were doing that? I've never done that before. And like we just happened to be doing it and joking around doing it. And then we ran into Jenna Marbles.
Oh my gosh, how cool. What year was that?
So weird.
Ish.
I don't even know.
How cool. I freaking love Jenna Marbles.
Me too.
I think for boy coincidences, I think I've talked about our story of like me and Joe meeting, but like we met on Bumble and then like it fizzled out and then we like matched again like a whole year later.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool though. Like that's such a, it's like the universe is like, okay guys.
Okay guys, it's time.
Definitely.
Now it's your time.
Yeah.
That was
Did
just, like,
you
the
remember
craziest.
immediately? I forget. Like did you see him and like know that you
previously
saw him and everything? Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think I like debated like for 2 seconds if I should say something, but like I was in kind of like a like fuck it mood. Like I didn't really care. I wasn't like being too serious with it.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, hey, what's up? How are you? Like, you know, I didn't really like feel any type of way about it. And then yeah, the rest is history. But
Crazy.
it was
That
just
is
funny
actually
that like
so cool.
of all the people and like timing and everything.
I think there has to be so many coincidences like that on dating apps because, like, really, what are the chances that you meet a longtime partner? But it happens so often.
Especially in a big city, I guess, too. Like with so
Yeah.
many people on.
That's also so true. Like Chicago's so massive. And like it's
You
not
could
like
have
my
done Love is
dating.
Blind if you waited a few years.
I don't think I ever would have done that though.
Would you? You wouldn't? I don't think I could. I would if you didn't have to get engaged, I think.
Yeah.
Would you do that, Devin?
Probably not. I wouldn't want to be on a reality show like that I have no control over my narrative.
If you guys had to pick a reality dating show, what show would it be? I think I'd pick like Love Island.
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I know enough of them.
Except I'd hate being in a bikini the whole freaking summer on TV.
That is goofy.
True. I would be the only girl wearing like the most conservative bikinis.
Do they allow people to wear one pieces?
Probably. You just don't see it. I assume, like, do they allow them to wear clothes during the day? Because nobody ever does.
That would be so goofy. I think
they have a lot of weird rules, I think.
Yeah. One recent coincidence that like I'm really happy about is I think I was like realizing how negative my thoughts were and was just like not my normal like kind of like inner dialogue that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like journaling about it and I was like, okay, I need to like keep like focusing on more of the positive things that are happening in my life and like just documenting those and like emphasizing those and realizing that like when I'm journaling, I'm talking a lot about negative things and I like need to journal about the positive and the negative so that I'm like reinforcing all the positive things. And then a podcast I listened to was like the very next day or like within that week was like also talking about the exact same concept. And then with my coach, we were also talking about the exact same concept. So it was like just like
wow.
And then I think there was like another thing on like I've seen like a handful of things on social media of just like, you know, people sharing posts about like focusing on all of the things and like multiplying them. And it was just like such a crazy like coincidence and like reinforcing like, hey. And I think those are the things that I wish I paid attention to a little bit more because I have this like concept or like I hear something once from somebody and then like I hear it again from somebody else and I'm like, oh, I need to like pay attention to those things because the universe is like trying to tell me something specific.
Yeah. That's also like confirmation bias. Like once you start paying attention to something, you notice more coincidences or similarities.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
I think, well, that's also like the TikTok for you page. Like, I feel like so much of the time whenever I'm struggling with something or thinking about something, it's like I always see videos pop up about it. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I was really meant to see this right now. Or do you guys ever get the girls that are like saying, like, use this sound and like you will be
Yeah.
getting whatever's meant to attract to you? Or
I've
like,
never gotten one of those.
I get them all the time. It's like, tomorrow will be your luckiest day. Use this sound.
I feel like
That's
TikTok's
hilarious.
algorithm is like too freaking creepy, and they have to be watching me on other apps or something because
They definitely have to hear, at least.
yeah.
I think there's also so many like slight things that we're so unconscious about. Like if you rewatch part of a video or
Yeah.
you like scroll to part of the video or you like spend certain
Mhm.
time in the comment section or like you click on somebody from the comment section and like go to their page or something. Like and even like if you search one TikTok person and then you search another person, like those like little things I think trigger
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, it
And
really does.
yeah.
Yeah, before
There's
I
just like
quit
so
my
many.
job, I kept getting those types of TikToks that were like, it's time to move on to your next journey or whatever the fuck, stupid things. But like, I would
Yeah.
watch and favorite one of them, and then I kept getting them, and I was like, oh my God, this is just a sign that I need to do it. But like, really, the algorithm knows what I want to see, and they keep feeding me
Yeah.
the same message.
Yeah, that's true. But that's also like signs from the universe of like from past loved ones or things like that. It's like, I don't know. It's like you can think of it as just
Yeah.
being a random thing, or it can like mean a lot to you, and you can be like, okay, that was my loved one.
Yeah.
But or
Yeah.
is that confirmation bias? You know?
Yeah. Or the algorithm working its magic.
Yeah.
I think another one of mine was like we kind of manifested Colorado in like our house. And I don't know if it's like part of it is coincidence because we like went to random ass open houses and like met our realtor. And then like our realtor was the perfect person to like help find our house because she's like so good at building relationships with people. And like when she built the relationship with the other realtor at our house, that's what like helped solidify. Like there was two other offers that were like bigger than ours.
It was meant to be.
And like because she had the relationship, the other realtor like told her what to put in the offer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
And she's the one that found the house.
yeah, like we like
So
I mean
cool.
we found it together. You know, based on their like search thingy. But the fact that we were like here in April and then like we're at a random ass open house, found a realtor that we loved, and then
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
That reminded me of like, I feel like Willow came in, like she was put in my life. Like it was such a weird coincidence. Like my friend Ashlyn was at the mall and she sent me a picture of a puppy corgi in the mall. And obviously I'm not going to buy a puppy mill corgi at the mall, but I was like, oh my, it just like triggered something in me that was like, I really want a corgi puppy. And I went on Willow's breeder's website and she had like one female available, which was like, I had been checking the breeder's website all the time, like waiting for litters and stuff. And then she happened to have a female corgi available. And then also the fact that Willow was the last puppy of the litter. Like
Yeah.
she was just
That's
like
so weird. Like that
put
doesn't
into
make
my
any
life.
sense.
Like she was given to me. Yeah. And like she changed my whole entire life. Like I would not be a
Yeah.
content creator if I didn't have her.
I do think a lot about that. I also think about the timing of like COVID and like starting the account and like the amount of time that I had to spend on it. Like any other point in time, like I probably would have been posting like 2 times a week or something. But
Yeah.
because of COVID and like how much time I had, I posted every goddamn day and like did that for
That's so
6
true.
months and never would have done that had it not been for Rosie.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think the same thing about Finley because we were supposed to be the litter before him. Like that's for like over 6 months we were selected for that litter, but then we were like the second to last to pick or something from them. And by the time everyone picked, there was a blue merle, but they were like, I don't know. I just like didn't. I was like, this is not the one. I don't know why. Like, I just had a feeling like this isn't it.
Yeah.
And then like I asked the breeder, like, can we wait actually for the next one? And she was like, yeah, there's another one. I think it was the very next month or even like a few weeks later or something. And then we got first pick of that one. And it was like literally seeing the picture of him when he was like a day old, I had like such a feeling of that's him. You got to get him. And it changed everything. It's so
That's
crazy how like
awesome.
one decision can change your whole life.
I feel like the best things in my life were just like effortlessly put into my life. Like all of
That's
my
so
best
true.
friends that I've had have like chosen me almost. Like
Yeah.
Willow
Yeah.
chose me. So that's why I'm like with relationships, it's hard. Like I
That
haven't
it'll
had to
just
put an
fall
effort
into.
into
Yeah.
other relationships in my life. Like
Yeah.
it just happened.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's such a good thing to kind of connect, because there are a lot of things that we like put so much effort into and trying so hard and wanting it and being like desperate for it and putting that sort of energy into something doesn't always like allow things to flow in when they're supposed to flow in. Like when we're trying to make shit happen, we're like forcing something that might not be ready yet, and we might not be ready yet. And so it's like navigating that disappointment of like not getting it. That's like obviously building a lot of strength, but I think allowing things to just kind of come in effortless and be open to receiving is so powerful. But I think it's a hard muscle to exercise because we're so used to this like masculine energy of like go go go, do, like what are you accomplishing? And the effortless receiving energy is like so much more feminine, which is like not encouraged at all.
That's so true. My mom sent me her pastor, I think last week or a few weeks ago, gave like a whole sermon on this basically of like just because like when you're wanting something so bad and it's not happening right away, and it's like, why is this thing that I want so bad not coming to me when I'm trying so hard or like doing everything I can to make it happen? And it's like looking around and paying attention to the other things that you might be learning or the other things happening to you while you're in that waiting period. Like it's not just like you're sitting around waiting for that one thing. It's like there might be other things going on in your life that are serving you better at that moment or taking you down a different path that you didn't know that you were supposed to be on.
Yeah.
Made me feel better.
I think it's funny that you bring up like that in relation to God, because I think that growing up, I was very religious and we like went to church and I went to Sunday school, I went to like youth group and everything. And I think the church, like, unfortunately, like in my church was not like horrible with this, but I think the church like influences a lot of like you have to do certain things, or like it is, I don't know exactly the right terminology. I have to kind of like dive into this more, but it's almost like there's somebody controlling these things instead of just kind of like God and the universe being one together. And it's like not really him controlling it. It's just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, I
I
love that
think
so much.
but like, I think I did a lot of manifesting. I think I did a lot of things like that because I used to pray to God like all the time. I used to like think about these things. I used to like truly manifest, but in the context of God and prayer and everything. And I think that helped like exercise that muscle, but there was always this thing that like I had to be doing something in order to be able to receive it, or like I couldn't like want something too much, otherwise I wasn't going to be able to have it. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
I
Like,
fully agree.
and now I've like shifted to like I can have whatever I want and I can manifest whatever I want, and like I can co-create with God and I can co-create with whatever like person I want to like make that with, instead of kind of having this like, if you don't do these 3 steps then you're fucking shit and like you're gonna go to hell.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was, like that he was like in more control, so then it was just like, oh, this is the way that things are gonna happen, or like you have to pray. Like I used to literally think that I had to pray for every single person in my life or like they would die the next day. Like before bed I'd be like, I can't forget to like pray that this person will be healthy, or like then they're not going to be healthy, or like if I'm thinking bad thoughts or negative thoughts that just pop up, then I'd think like, oh, now I'm gonna make that negative thing happen because God's gonna be like listening and think that I want that or something, even though it's like an anxious thought. It's so weird.
Such a crazy
I feel like
thought.
I focus so much on like the devil and hell and like all this stuff.
I did so much when I was little,
and it was so scary. It was
That's
like
why
so
my dad
terrifying.
is atheist.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
grew
it makes
up in
sense.
the time well, his parents were Catholic, but he grew up in the time where like everybody was so scared of Satan and stuff, and like he would like be so scared at night that like the devil was gonna come, and I don't even
I
know,
used
but
to be
like
so
he's told
scared
me
of
I used to be
this stuff
terrified.
before.
I used to be so sad that I thought like all of these incredible people, like I used to have these friends that were like of different religions, and like my grandparents and my aunts and uncles, I was like, you mean
You're like,
all of
they're
these
going
people
to
are going to hell? Like
Yeah.
I was
I
like,
would
that's so
cry.
fucked. Yeah, me too. I was like so upset about it.
In my brain,
And
sorry, you can keep going.
yeah, it's just like, but that's just, so I wish that like I would have been able to take more of like the positive things of like praying to God, manifesting with
Yeah.
God, everything like that, instead of like all of this negative, like don't do
Yeah.
this to, and like basically avoiding all of this stuff so you don't have to like go to hell. Because that's,
It
I think, what a
sucks.
lot of like the rhetoric was pushed towards.
Yeah, the negative stuff like tampers with the good connection that you could have, or like the positive.
Yeah.
That's why so many people leave religions.
Yeah. Or it's also like if somebody dies in your life and then people are like, well, what's meant to be is meant to be, or like that's just the way that God wanted it. And then you're like, well, why did this person like get sick? That is so good. Like that doesn't make sense. Why would God like do
Yeah.
that to somebody good? That doesn't make sense in your brain. But then when you
No.
think of it as being, I don't know, more just like one in the universe and God and everything being the same thing, then it,
Yeah.
I don't know, it makes a lot more sense in my mind. I've been listening to a lot more like religious podcasts or like people talking and stuff
Interesting.
and applying it more. Like I don't know, like I believe a lot of it, but like not in the way that it's like God and Jesus or like coming from that fear place.
Yeah.
Like more of just being a good human. Like I was listening to one yesterday about relationships, and it was like it was people, I love like watching not too intensive Christians. That sounds like bad. Like
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
people who are like really, really, really in it. Like I love listening to that and like
Yeah.
being like, oh, that's interesting, or like I don't agree with that, or I do agree with that. But just the way that they were talking about like marriage and how to speak to each other and like love is patient, love is kind, and like
Yes.
all of that stuff, like I do believe in all of that
Yeah.
at the same time, and like how to act as like a more like godly person, but I just don't think of it as like Jesus and God
Yeah.
and everything. Like I don't know.
I agree. It was actually kind of, it's so, I think this is also kind of a coincidence, like that you brought this up, like, because Ali Yost like shared like a Bible verse the other day on her TikTok, and it was
I feel
just
like I
like,
saw that and I was like,
yeah. I had initially done that, but I was like, you know what? I'm like, there's probably a reason why like this popped up. Like I should listen to it. And I like listened to it in the context of just like manifestation and God instead of like Jesus and the Bible and God and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
I was able to pull a lot more out of it. And I think there's like, I'm not gonna like go and read the Bible or anything. Like that's just a lot of work, but and it's like a lot of work to like decipher all the different meanings behind it. But I did really appreciate like
Yeah, that's what I meant more when I was
her
talking
perspective.
several episodes ago. I know that was like a few months ago when I was talking about like doing a devotional or like how I like enjoy that time of like verses like that when you're applying it to your own life or the universe or whatever in like a less serious way, I guess, and just taking whatever time in the morning or throughout your life to, because anytime, like this girl was saying, like when you're going to complain about something, like even to your friends, like you don't want to go to your friends every single time that you have an issue or every single time that like these feelings come up. Like you want to be able to have a place to like put that to, and for somebody else to be able to take that on. And that's like journaling or praying or speaking out loud or going on a walk and just like having the thoughts run through your mind, but you're like getting it out and like turning it to gratitude rather than complaining about things. Like I don't know, I've just had to do that a lot also in the past few weeks of like being so thankful for everything rather than like living in the craziness and being like, oh, I'm so annoyed that all of this is happening, or I feel so overwhelmed and anxious that all of this is happening. Like focus on the gratitude of that it is all happening.
Yeah.
It's weird because I have such a negative reaction to religion. I think it's like such shit. Like I think it's so stupid. But also I still can't get, like I literally could not believe in like Christianity if I wanted to. Like if I wanted so badly to believe that that was real, I couldn't, like in my rational brain it won't let me. But I still like believe in like there's something else out there in the universe and like that things happen for a reason. Like I can't get that belief out of my head. Maybe because I'm like a selfish human and I like to think that you know, the universe is like I have a plan for my life, and like certain things are meant to be and meant
And
to
it's
come my
not just
way
like
or
you die
whatever.
and then it's done, and like
Yeah,
there's no
I feel like
purpose
that's
for
like a
anything.
selfish human thing
It
that I
is.
can't get rid of. But like it also bothers me that like if anytime I see someone that like starts saying a Bible verse, I'm like, nope, no religion.
Well,
Like
because
it
it's
just
like who wrote that?
yeah, I know.
Like that's what I don't love about the Bible. It's like, okay, this has been translated like 5 bajillion times.
Mhm.
But that's what I look at it more as, like fables and things to
Yeah.
but obviously not all of it, because a lot of it is really bad too.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I think there's so much power and like so much beauty in like religion and community and everything that like obviously there's a lot of like crap and like horrible things that happen, but there is a lot of great stuff to it. So like if it works for somebody, I think all the more power
Oh
to
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
you physically live longer if you're either religious or fully atheist. Like it causes people to not live as long if you question things.
yeah.
Which is like so I'm like, fuck.
I've got
I
a
don't know
lot
if I
of
could ever be like fully on one side.
no.
I'm wondering though like what that looks like in terms of kind of like the manifestation side of things. Because I think that's like fully believing in like the
I think it
universe
is.
and
I
fully
think that
believing in
counts.
something.
Yeah, because to me that's all the same. That's why like I think
Yeah.
of every religion is like the freaking same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I believe in manifesting. Like I don't pray, but like I say affirmations and I write down things that I want. So like I mean, in a sense, that is God.
Exactly.
But like, yeah, it's weird.
Like, does it really matter if you're writing it down or you're thinking it or you're saying it out loud to God? Like, it's all the same.
I think there's also a lot of like really great like sayings and what's it called? Like proverbs or whatever, like that, like, you know, an Islamic proverb or like a Buddhist, what is the word I'm looking for? Just like a Buddhist phrase or
I know what
Buddhist
you're
like
talking about,
saying.
but I
Like
don't
there's
know
a
what the
lot
word
of like
would be.
really beautiful things that are kind of like pulled.
Yeah.
They're all like kind of like one and the same, but like in each religion, there's something so incredible that you can like kind of pull from each of them.
Yeah. Somebody
why
replied to one of my stories the other day and was like, "You sound Buddhist, like that you believe in Buddhism." And I was like, I always wanted to be Buddhist when I was a kid.
That's why I never believed in religion, because how come there's so many religions then that everybody believes different things? That doesn't make then obviously
And why the one that I was born into is the right one?
Exactly.
And, like what?
Yep.
That was always really confusing.
And
to
then
me,
God
too.
just secludes most of the world to not know about it at all. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And if it was true and real, then like why wouldn't everybody have that evidence and believe in it?
Yeah.
believe in
Was
the
your
same
mom
thing?
religious? Or is?
No. I mean, she goes to church for the same reasons that you were talking about. Like they talk about I mean, she doesn't go to church. She does sometimes. Like she wears a cross necklace, so I guess I don't really know. But she's like, they talk about family at church and blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, well, you can go listen to a podcast about family, Mom.
For sure.
But like, no.
Yeah, I don't think I can do church again.
I also think
ever.
it's just like each religion is just a different way for someone to like identify and connect with it. So like even like if it's a different religion, it's just the way that they connect with God and like a higher being and higher power.
I do love that, like, yeah, it's connecting to yourself. It's therapy. It's a way to meditate. It's a way to journal. It's a way, like, it's really good for you. But I don't know how this podcast got about religion, but I hate all the like restrictions and like religion tells you what you have to do to be a good person and like all that bullshit is stupid.
Like I feel like it
what you
lets
want
go
from
of
it,
your
but
stress. Like if you're able
have
to
faith,
fully give
literally.
up whatever, like that you're not in control and you, no matter what's going on in your life, like you're not the one. You can give all of that up to somebody else. Like I think that just makes people feel better and like happier.
I can't imagine doing
life.
that. I feel like there's
Me
a very
either. That's
small
why I'm so
percentage of people that
anxious.
actually do that.
I think so too. But I do want to try to be like better about that. Of like
But
in
I also
that
think you have to
podcast.
work hard and like work for things that you want.
For sure. Yeah, and it's also the same with like if something bad happens, it's not like, oh, well, that was that person's fault. Or like then it's like karma too. Like how does karma play into coincidences or manifesting and all of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love karma. I don't know if I've really thought about karma a lot recently, honestly.
I haven't either.
Only in regards to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, me too.
What happened?
Her song.
Her song Karma.
Karma is my
Oh.
boyfriend. Karma is a god. Karma is a beast. Okay.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Beautiful.
That's like basically all of mine. Oh, well, I thought it was, well, one, it's weird, Devin, that you live in Arizona and that we didn't meet until like after the fact. Like, we
But you
grew
live
up
in
an hour and a
freaking
half.
Tucson. I never go to Tucson.
Okay, well, I went to Phoenix like at least 5-6 times a year. Like, it's just weird that we were an hour and a half away from each other.
That is weird. But
then
now you're
met
not.
after the
So
fact.
sad.
Yeah.
Also weird that Britt moved to Colorado like when I was visiting my cousin and we got to meet.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
also weird. That's a weird coincidence. And kind of the same thing that you were saying, Britt, about the job fair. Like, that's basically what happened to Cameron, too. Like, it was odd that we came here and visited and we were like, okay, now we want to move. And then it just so happened that there was someone at a job fair at our college that was here. And then he got the job with, like, our good friend also. And, like, the three of us all moved. So,
Yeah.
But like,
weird.
what if you chose a different guy or a different state or something, and like we were sitting here today and you were like, well, good thing I did this so that I met Steven or something, you know? Like,
yeah,
would we always be saying, well, it was meant to be?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, if you, I don't know, I think that also goes to like soulmates and stuff, where it's like, do you believe that you have like one person? Because I kind of believe like you can, there's a lot of people that you can work with and make the decision to like make them your life partner. I don't think that
Yeah.
there's like one
Again,
person
like with the
won't
religion
work with
thing,
anybody else.
yeah, like if you have one soulmate, then who's to tell me that my soulmate isn't in like Germany or something? Like,
They might
I
not
guess if
be.
you had a soulmate, they would hopefully put you in a place where you would cross.
I actually
paths.
have a literal story about finding your soulmate in Germany.
Oh, what a coincidence.
That is a coincidence. Do you have any last ones before I read other people's?
I just love how like I feel like my friends have all chosen me. Like literally, Britt made me be your friends, and that's like literally how all my best friends in life are. Like in 8th grade, this girl was new to my school, and she like literally made me be her friend, and like all my best friends from high school and 8th grade like made me be their friends, and like I don't know, it just seems like effortless.
Yeah.
I love
a
that.
coincidence.
I wonder if you'd feel that way, like, about meeting a boy if you were, like, something about dating apps takes that away almost, when even in Brittany's
Yeah.
case, it was like, oh, that was so meant to be, even using a dating app. But, like,
Well, maybe
you
with
feel
the
a lot
amount of
that
times I undownload and download it, maybe if I like came across the same person again.
it's a sign.
But yeah.
You're supposed to meet them.
But yeah, I totally agree with my friends too. One time, one of my best friends like moved into the same neighborhood as my other best friend, and then we like met and hung out all summer. And then like on our first day of school, she was like in our open house, and we were like, "What the heck?" And now she's still my best friend.
That's so cool.
I think those are like my main ones. I definitely want to like think even more on this.
I know
It's 11/11. Make a wish.
It's 12/11 actually.
I was thinking the other day, I told him, I forget why this came up, something about wishing on a number, but I was like, I wish that I had me making a wish, talking about it. I wish that I had like a list of all the wishes that I've ever made, like on a birthday cake
Oh
or
my
number
God.
or anything like that. And then I could see like what has come true.
That would be kind of cool.
So that's also manifesting.
That would be actually interesting.
Okay. So there's some like pop culture-y ones, like Thomas Jefferson and John Adams died within hours of each other on the 4th of July.
What?
Like, that's weird.
Is that real?
I double checked.
That's crazy.
I was like, I want to make sure. John Wilkes Booth's brother saved Abraham Lincoln's son from dying, which is very weird. In 1865, Booth's brother Edwin was a somewhat famous stage actor who supported the Union during the Civil War. While in a train station in New Jersey, Lincoln's son Robert leaned up against a stopped train, nearly falling onto the tracks. As it started up again, Edwin Booth grabbed him by the collar and saved him just in time.
Wow.
But he didn't know until later that he knew who he saved.
What the fuck?
There was a man who missed 2 Malaysian air flights that crashed. In 2014, there were 2 tragic plane crashes involving Malaysian air flights. The first was shot down over Ukraine, and the second disappeared without a trace somewhere in the Indian Ocean, in the greatest aviation mystery of all time. Beyond the fact that both incidences involved the same airline in such a short span of time, there was another striking coincidence that Martin Dejean was scheduled to take both flights, but he cheated death by bumping his ticket at the 11th hour when cheaper options became available. That's crazy. Could you imagine? I feel like
a lot of people have those stories with 9/11 too.
Yeah, there's so many stories like that, which is so
to
sad. Like,
miss 2 of those flights is crazy.
9/11 would be really weird too. Like, to think about it after, like, if you do survive one of those things and then being like, whoa, I was supposed to be there. That must be just like a strange.
Yeah, but then all the people that were there, it's like,
yeah, so you'd feel so bad. Like,
yeah, like, because you would be like, well,
guilt.
I was meant to survive, but like, maybe,
like, why me? Like,
yeah,
which is all the same thing. Like, why does God or whoever? Why do certain people die? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
This other one from pop culture, it's a documentary that I watched in one of my psychology classes, and it's so cool. I highly recommend everyone goes and watches it. It's called 3 Identical Strangers.
Oh yeah.
And it's the story of 3 young men, Robbie, David, and Eddie, and they were all identical twins adopted to different families at birth. Yeah, sorry, triplets. 2 of the 3 boys attended the same university by coincidence, and they ended up discovering that they were triplets. And then they later contacted their 3rd brother after the fluke meeting of the 2 of them was published in a newspaper. And then they did like a whole study. It was like really crazy. It's actually like so fucked up. They like took them away to study nature versus nurture and like put them in different families to see like how different they would be growing up and how much of like their biological genes made them the same versus the way that they grew up, which it turned out a lot of it was their biology. Like a lot, they were like firefighters. They went to the same cult. Like there were so many similarities.
Well, one of them ended up killing himself, right? And that was like a nurture thing because of the adversity that he faced growing up, and the other 2 like didn't face that same thing.
Yeah, and I think he killed himself after like they met and everything. Which is sad.
Yeah,
like how fucked up to separate these children from each other, their brothers.
But that's crazy that 2 of them, based on their like genetics and stuff, like decided to go to the same college.
Yeah,
it's so weird. Okay, I have 2 like longer ones. So should I just pick one maybe? I'll do the German soulmate one. Okay. I come from a rather small town in Germany. The part of the city I grew up in is more like a small village. 33 years of my life went by without being able to connect to women. Not many dates, not much luck, just in general, not a ladies' man. I was totally convinced that there was no one out there for me because even when I dated someone a few times and was absolutely sure everything was going well, at some point the woman went on to tell me that she sees no future together. I left my town at the age of 29 to go to Australia for 2 years. I met someone from Germany there and moved over to her part of the country when we came back to Germany because I desperately wanted it to work and thought there's no man's land of the Dutch border for her makes sense. Thought moving to no man's land on the Dutch border for her makes sense. She dumped him after just a few weeks. So then he moved to a big city about closer to his hometown. He used Tinder a lot in the first year there. After a few meetups, sometimes even thinking there may be something, they were only ghosted after meeting 2 or 3 times. One day, I have a match with this beautiful woman. She later told me that she went on Tinder when she was in line at the grocery store and swiped only 1 time this day. That guy was me. This is where the coincidences begin. We found out pretty quickly that we're from the same town. Of course, we are from the same village as well. The house she was born and grew up in is literally right next to the house that I grew up in. She went to the same kindergarten. She had the same kindergarten teacher. Her aunt is a kindergarten teacher in the same facility and remembered me and my brothers from 27 years ago. We went to the same elementary school. We shared some same teachers as well. Her uncle was in a short relationship with my oldest cousin. Her grandpa and grandma share the same name. Her grandma, mother's side, knows my grandma. Her grandma held her wedding on the exact same day as my grandma. They never met, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just so crazy that he ended up meeting a girl that had all these similarities, but, like, he needed to move to a different country to find her first.
Wow.
That's insane.
That is crazy.
That's a lot of coincidences. Like, did they, like, remember each other being, like, next door to each other at their house or, like, being in the same kindergarten class?
I guess not. Like, well, after the fact, but I guess not at the beginning.
There's definitely, like, now that I think back to it, I definitely don't remember every single person in my, like, kindergarten class. I know I could, like, think of a lot of people from that time, but I'm sure there's, like, some people that,
I
like,
can't think of anyone.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint who they
The
are.
boy that fought my boyfriend in high school, we went to preschool together, and we found that out in high school, and there was, like, a picture of us from our preschool graduation, and we're standing next to each other.
Oh,
We were
That's
like,
so
wow,
funny.
that's so weird. Then the last story is, like, kind of the same, but it's basically just about this family that they go camping together every long weekend in May every year, and they go to the same campsite every time, and there's always a couple that camps next to them, and every single time they're like, hey, good to see you guys, what's up? And then a few years ago, they went to a different camp spot in June, 2 hours from their town, and they set up camp, and they look across, and the same couple was camping there at that campsite. And then the next summer, they went to Oregon for a week. They live in Canada, and they went to Oregon. There was a traffic jam, and nothing is moving. They decided to get out of the car, get some fresh air, and guess who they spot in the car in front of them? The same couple.
Oh my god,
And they
that's
were like,
weird.
"What the heck?"
So crazy.
I love that. I feel like I have coincidences like that in my life, but I can't think of what they are.
I know. I feel like I
Like
need
seeing
to
the
start
same
writing these
people.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just, like, too many on a regular basis.
We should definitely do a post in the Facebook group of
Yeah.
coincidences. So go join our Facebook community and go write down any coincidences that you've had in your life. I
Yeah.
love reading them. Like, it's so
I
fun to know other
it's
people's.
crazy.
Well, it also
Some of
just
them are
reminds
so
you to kind of, like,
crazy.
look at, like, even your
Yeah.
boy story, Maggie. I was like, oh, me and Joe's, like, dating app thing is definitely a coincidence.
And there's probably even more with you and Joe that, like, you haven't even necessarily thought of. Like, Cameron's mom worked at the elementary school I went to, and she went to school where my parents' house is now. Like, they tore down the elementary school and made a neighborhood, and that's where my parents bought their house now.
That's
Like,
crazy.
just little things.
I
like
guess
that.
one is kind of a coincidence is that, like, my job, it was, like, just in the suburbs of Chicago, in the town that Joe lived in. So when I was on Bumble, like, swiping through, the only way that we were connected is because he had just moved back from Montana and was living at home.
Oh.
So because my work was in the same town as him, we were able to match.
Wait, did he grow up in Montana?
No, he just worked there for, like, a year and a half or so.
Where did he grow up?
In the suburbs of Chicago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So,
How crazy.
yeah. Because that would, like, I guess we, like, would have not matched, like, had I not worked in the suburbs. And he lived there.
Yeah, and you had to make the decision to message him first.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do that.
Crazy.
I have another weird one. My best friend that I have currently, Ashlyn, the first time that we went to LA together to try to meet Lady Gaga, her mom worked at Mac, and my mom went into Mac to buy something, I don't know. And somehow they figured out that our daughters were together, or their daughters were together in LA. And my mom texted me and was like, I just met
What?
Ashlyn's mom. And I was like, how? I
That's
don't even know
so
how they
goofy.
like got to talking about that or anything, because they'd never met each other. Like,
Yeah.
they were new friends.
They're
And,
probably like,
like,
my
how
daughter's not
often
doing
do
this.
you-
Like, so's mine.
Yeah.
How
something like
often do
that.
you, like, actually divulge, like, that much information to those
Yeah.
people?
Well,
Moms
they
be
probably
doing
both
that.
talk a lot, yeah. But yeah, I feel like
That
all
is
of mine are like
crazy.
just so weird and silly, but like that one was more of like, oh, we're meant to be friends or
Yeah,
something.
I feel like that. Also, how much of that is like being in a small town? But like
I
these
don't-
places
we
aren't
weren't
even
in a small
small.
town.
Like Tucson is over 1 million people.
Yeah.
But it feels so small.
Yeah.
Is Tucson where the college is?
Mm-hmm.
Do they count the population like with school and without school?
I think it's just permanent residents, I would assume.
We in Ann Arbor, we had like 2 different populations, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's a great question,
when
actually.
school
I'm
is
not
in session
sure
and
about
when
that.
school is not in session.
Because there's obviously like a shit ton more people. There's a lot of California kids and stuff that come.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Is it Arizona State or University of Arizona?
University of Arizona, then Arizona State's by Dev.
Is it in Phoenix?
Tempe.
Arizona State? Tempe. That's what it is. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening. And make sure you go join our Facebook community so you can go leave your coincidences and talk about the episode. Also, if you're listening to this, that means that we already did our Instagram live. So hopefully you attended. Hopefully it was fun.
Well.
We haven't done it yet, but hopefully it goes smoothly and you enjoyed it. But make sure you're following us on Spotify. We're almost at 1,000 Spotify followers, so make sure you give it a little follow so you don't miss an episode. Subscribe to us on YouTube, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
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 I forgot to say, but I wanted to say I loved like all the dating advice on the last that we had.
Yeah, that was cute.